Good morning! Welcome to the 111th Commencement Exercises of Centro Escolar University, Manila, School of Dentistry. The candidates for graduation. the faculty of the School of Dentistry. The academic department heads. The deans and assistant deans. The university chaplain. Members of the administrative council. Members of the CEU Board of Directors. The University Maze. The University President and Chief Academic Officer. The Commencement Speaker. Invocation to be led by the University Chaplain, Reverend Father Rindo Caripay Anthony CM.
Dear graduating students, congratulations. This day marks the end of a journey that you undertook a couple of years ago as you accepted the invitation to enter the sea of Centro Escolar University. In your chosen field of profession, you chose to explore deeper waters in search of more knowledge, sharper skills, and deeper understanding. These explorations have led you to true wisdom that is divine and deepened your relationships and matured your humanity as a result. Thus, today is the culmination of your years-long prayer. In the faith tradition that speaks best to you, I invite you now to bow your head in prayer. We pray. Gracious and loving God, Creator of all that is, bless and approve our offering here today. We ask now for your divine hand to be upon our graduates as they and their families and teachers celebrate this grand milestone. May they find comfort from our community's continued embrace and family support as they journey through life. May they find strength in the excellence of their academic preparation and values of ciencia y virtu. Bless their lives and the days and months and years ahead with goodness and success. Enable them to stay tuned to your divine plans, to remain true to their dreams for your greater glory, to discern what is right, good, and just, and to use their gifts wisely and in service to others. Empower them to walk into the future with faith, hope, and love, and not to be discouraged by the adversities caused by the present-day pandemic. May your light guide every step that they take. Bless them and bless us all. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, pelos ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong maghaw. Malilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang islat ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lumalang araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming higaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Message of the University President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina.
Greetings, greetings of joy. The April 19, 2021 issue of Time magazine had on its cover a student with her two hands grasping a book and a laptop and gazing at a distance. The caption read, "The Lost Year." Let me ask you, the graduating class of 2021, was the past year a lost year for you? Some of you would probably agree that it was a lost year. Some may say, in some ways. I surmise, however, that most of you would not agree that it was a totally lost year. I make that conclusion from reading some of the comments you have posted or you have made in the various conversations or surveys we have done. Saying that the last school year was a lost year is looking at a half-filled glass and saying that it is half empty. Admittedly, we experience gaps. No sports fest, no Mr. and Miss CEU, no pep rally, no last photos by Librada Avellino with friends, no fun-filled culminating activities. John Maxwell, one of my favorite writers, from whom I have derived many words of wisdom, has a book entitled Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. The way the title is written on the front cover of the book is that the word learn is placed on top of the crossed out word lost, to emphasize the point that the inverse of winning is not losing, rather it is learning. The past school year has been a learning year, a transformative year. Many of you, during some focus group discussions, said that you learned to be more disciplined and to manage your time more effectively, allowing time for studies without neglecting housework that you were expected to do, and some socialization, albeit virtually. You learned to learn. Treasure the teachability and the teachable spirit that was cultivated in you during the year. This will serve you well through your life. There are so much more to learn, some because you have not gotten around to them, and more knowledge and techniques still to be discovered. You may feel that because of the limitations of the online instructional modality that was used in the past year, that you failed to learn some principles, concepts, and skills. There is plenty of time and plenty of opportunities to learn all those in the future, and you will, because you have developed the right attitude and the proficiency for lifelong learning. If I may share with you my own attitude about learning, it is that everyone has something to teach me, and that every day I have something to learn. Seek and be open to those circumstances all through your life. During your stay in CEU, you were reminded, and you will be reminded again later, to always bear in mind the twin philosophy of Centro Escolar University, Ciencia y Virtud. Translated in more common terms, as competence and character. What you and all of us won in the year just past are many opportunities to strengthen our character. Opportunities which I hope you grasped and took hold of. There were many moments in the past year that must have stimulated your empathy and compassion. Stories of need for food and medical sustenance, for sympathy in the loss of loved ones, for patience and understanding of weaknesses, for courage to face dire circumstances, for prayers. You were moved and you responded. You, all of us, were given gifts of opportunities to practice kindness. May this spirit remain with you, with us. You may have felt deprived in the year past, deprived of fun time with friends, deprived of travel and eating out, hug deprived. But I bet that while you were deprived of many things, you were, on the one hand, bestowed with experiences you would not have had were it not for the lockdowns. For the many posts in your social media platforms of inspirational and motivational quotes, poems, videos, for the time to take notice of and enjoy nature, even as ordinary as the sun's rays, the blue sky, and the wind caressing your face and blowing through your hair. For the thoughtfulness of people to share, to ask how you are doing, to listen. For friendships and relationships gained and strengthened. For skills discovered and developed. For learning to look out for others. You were steered for positive change. You were given the chance to evolve for the better. I am certain for you and all of us that we learned to be more thankful to God, especially for His sustaining presence in the year past. The sun still shines. We are here celebrating a culmination and a beginning. You are well and equipped to face tomorrow. Praise the Lord. Alhamdulillah. The Time magazine had it wrong. It has not been a lost year. It has been a learning year. The past year has been a capstone year that strengthened your character and honed your virtue. That the knowledge you have gained and will gain in the future will be used for good purpose, for your own good, for the common good of all peoples, for the good of one's nation and the world. Congratulations, winners of tomorrow. Go forth. God goes with you.
Introduction of the commencement speaker by the Dean of the School of Dentistry, Dr. Pearly P. Lim.
The CEU Board of Directors, the CEU President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina, the members of the Administrative Council, the Council of Deans, the academic department heads, faculty members, staff, parents, and the graduating class of 2020. Good morning to all of you. I am deeply honored to introduce our speaker in today's commencement exercises of Centro Escolar University School of Dentistry. Our speaker is a Doctor of Medicine graduate of the UP College of Medicine in 1989. She completed her pediatric residency at the Philippine General Hospital in 1992. She had a research fellowship in molecular genetics at the International Center for Medical Research at the Kobe University Graduate School of Medicine in Japan, and took her subspecialty training in clinical genetics at the Hospital for Sick Children, University of Toronto, Canada. She was board certified as a fellow by the Canadian College of Medical Geneticists in 2000. Our speaker is a research professor at the National Institute of Health, as well as a clinical professor of the Department of Pediatrics at the Philippine General Hospital. She was one of the 10 Outstanding Young Men awardee for the field of genetic medicine in the year 2002, and she was also recognized by the National Academy of Science and Technology as one of the outstanding young scientists in the same year. She was also awarded as one of the outstanding women in the nation's service for medicine in the year 2007. Our speaker received the 2011 University of the Philippines Manila's Outstanding Research and the Professorial Chair for Excellence in Teaching and Research in Pediatrics and Genetics. She also received the Dr. Jose Rizal Memorial Award for Research given by the Philippine Medical Association on May 2012. In 2017, she was awarded as the UP Alumni Association's Distinguished Alumni Awardee for Health Research in Genomics to Advocacy. Our speaker was given the Dangal ng Bayan Award by the Honors Awards Program of the Civil Service Commission for her significant and sustained contributions in the field of genetics in 2018 and the Metrobank's Outstanding Filipinas in 2019. She is the current director for the health program of the Philippine Genome Center and is a part of the Interagency Task Force Technical Working Group on Variants. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present this morning the Executive Director of the National Institute of Health, University of the Philippines, Manila, our commencement speaker, Dr. Eva Maria C. Cutionco de la Paz.
Thank you for the generous introduction. Dr. Maria Cristina Padulina, President and Chief Academic Officer of Centro Escolar University, esteemed members of the Administrative Council, Board of Directors, and Dr. Pearlie Lim, Dean of the School of Dentistry, faculty, parents, grandparents, friends of our graduates, and the graduating class of 2021. A blessed day. I am so honored to join all of you, the exceptional students of Centro Escolar University, on your graduation day. Congratulations. You're all exceptional because you graduated during an extraordinary time of our lives, where our responsiveness, resourcefulness, and resiliency have been put to great test. You all deserve a big round of virtual applause. As I reflected on what to share with you today, I thought about the circumstances in my life that led me to my career in genetics, a path I never knew existed until I took that bold step of faith and let the sequences in my life unfold. Medicine is a very predictable course, perhaps just like studying dentistry. I spent 4 years in pre-med and 5 years in medicine proper, followed by 3 years of training in pediatric specialty, capped by another year of being chief resident. Added on was a year of research fellowship in molecular genetics, 2 years of subspecialty training in clinical genetics, and then finally, I was able to start my clinical practice as a pediatrician and clinical geneticist. And accidentally, I became a researcher too. And so as I look back, there were people in my life, my mentors, who forced new ideas and concepts in the choice of my subspecialty. Genetics was not a known specialty in medicine at that time. In fact, there was only one geneticist then for the whole country. When the opportunity for training came, I obeyed and relied on the wisdom of people who knew better than me. In retrospect, I'm glad I left that door open because I found out what was important and that I could be a part in building something for the country. My early encounters with DNA sequences happened in Japan, where I studied molecular genetics under Professor Matsuo, my sensei. My research focus then was a genetic condition that affects young boys who develop difficulty in walking when they reach the age of 3 to 5 years. And the muscle weakness progresses such that they would need a wheelchair in their teens. They usually die in their 20s when the muscles of the heart, as well as the muscles needed for breathing, become affected. Not being able to speak Nihongo and having no family with me, my first 6 months in Kobe were really sad and I cried a lot until I found a way to enjoy, like being fascinated with the Japanese culture. I joined old and young Japanese women in public baths, watched people dress up as in cosplay, and tried karaoke. And then a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Kobe in the dead of winter. Not having food and water for days and being far away from my family was a very difficult situation to be in. But by God's grace, I was able to overcome. So, although I was offered a PhD at the Kobe University, my parents could not live with the thought of me being in earthquake-prone Japan. And so I applied for a fellowship in clinical genetics at the University of Toronto, got accepted, and left on a jet plane bound for Canada. The Hospital for Sick Children, or Sick Kids, as it is more popularly known, is all you can dream of in a children's hospital, and their training program in clinical genetics was superb. I truly enjoyed my learnings there in a hospital which looks more like a mall with Tim Hortons, an ice cream parlor, and a Disney store inside. There were also opportunities available for me, but only available because I asked. I asked my training officer to give me the chance to spend time in the molecular lab as I was tasked to set up a lab upon my return to the Philippines. I requested for extra time on the bench from my professor, Professor Wexper. Those extra hours gave me the chance to do research on 2 rare diseases, Costello syndrome and Simpson-Golabi-Bemmel syndrome, that the laboratory was working on. And this resulted in 2 of my first publications as co-authors. Even if I was offered a faculty position at the Sick Kids and I could have stayed on, I was determined to come home. I packed my bags, left again on a jet plane, back to the Philippines, determined to be part of making a difference in our country. I became part of the Institute of Human Genetics, National Institutes of Health, an institute committed to bring genomic medicine closer to the Filipino people. The desire to learn, to understand new things made me curious enough to pursue new lines of inquiry about genetic conditions common among Filipinos. I have been blessed with many friends, and this is an important ingredient to start meaningful research collaborations. With research collaborations built on friendship, trust is assured, and work is more enjoyable. Friendship catalyzes such collaborations and produces a collective impact. I am part of the PGH Cardiovascular Genetics Study Group, where together with my cardiology friends, we study genetic markers that are important in predicting risk for heart disease as well as response to drugs. I'm also part of a diabetes genetics study group, and together with my friends in endocrinology, we collaborated with the University of California in San Francisco under a grant from the CHED, Philippine-California Advanced Research Institutes. We did research to discover about the genetic basis of diabetes among Filipinos. Together with my friends in otorhinolaryngology, we worked with indigenous peoples groups and discovered genes that confer susceptibility to otitis media. This is a genetic condition we should all be aware of because XDP is a uniquely Filipino disease.
Sa computeran na umpisa yung sa mata niya. Yung pumipikit-pikit ng pa kunti-kunti hirapan din siya.
This is the patient prior to the onset of disease. Any male, anywhere in the world, presenting with a combination of dystonia, or what we know as involuntary movements, and Parkinsonism, for sure, is Filipino, born to a mother from the Panay group of islands. I am part of an international group of researchers trying to find a cure for XDP, and my role is in providing genetic counseling to the patients and families with this devastating condition. We also need to be flexible. We should be ready and able to change to adapt to different circumstances. After receiving my MD degree, I thought the MD would also mean matandang dalaga for me, and pursuing an additional degree, a PhD, would mean panghabang buhay na dalaga. But as it turns out, God has other plans. I married my date to the JS Prom in high school at age 40. We did not see each other for 20 long years, and when we saw each other again, he was a widower, having lost his wife to cancer with 2 very young boys. So I am a lucky me, instant money. The boys lost their mom at age 3 and 5 years. And now, Nicolo just finished law school while King is a second-year medical school. Lastly, be passionate in whatever you do. One of life's greatest privileges is to be able to serve, not for personal gain, but for public good. It used to be just an imagined future, to have globally competitive scientific ideas, to have discoveries on connections between genetic distinctness and nationality, and to use genomics for better health of Filipinos. But with government support and the support of the university, the Philippine Genome Center was established in UP as a valuable resource for higher educational institutions in pursuit of learning and discovery to harness genetic and genomic information to better understand the genetic makeup of Filipinos, to develop rapid diagnostic tools using the genomics platform, and for food security. This facility is a gift to students and teachers of the future. Through a research grant from the Commission on Higher Education, Philippine-California Advanced Research Institutes, I was tasked to set up a shared genomics core laboratory and be involved in teaching students and faculty about genetics, to do research, and to translate findings for the benefit of the Filipino people. The Philippines now has all the sequencers anyone could ever dream of. A NovaSeq, NextSeq, a MySeq. Little did we know then that these sequencers will be much needed by our country to do genomic biosurveillance during this pandemic and detect the alpha, beta, Gamma, and Delta variants. The application of genomics in agriculture is to improve the genetic quality of livestock that can be used to drive sustainable production and feed the Filipino population. Identification of genetic markers linked to desirable traits can immensely improve selection practices, leading to climate change resilient and pest-resistant varieties. This is how a genomics-informed surveillance and outbreak response work. Sequencing technologies are vital in the rapid identification of both known, such as the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and even unknown microorganisms necessary for rapid response, mitigation, and control. In the past few years, we have seen extraordinary developments in precision medicine. Its power lies in its ability to guide healthcare decisions toward the most effective treatment for a given patient using genomic information. This leads to more targeted treatment and reduces the need for unnecessary diagnostic testing and therapies. This is in line with the Saktong Lunas para sa Saktong Pinoy program of the Department of Science and Technology. Dear graduates, I hope that by sharing with you sequences in my life and DNA sequences that shaped my career, you will try your best to be obedient, be an overcomer, be determined, be curious, be flexible, be passionate, and lastly, be part of making a difference for the future generations of Filipinos. Isang malaking pagbati muli sa ating mga magigiting na nagsipagtapos, sa kanilang mga magulang, sa mga guro, at sa pamunuan ng Centro, Escolar, University. Maraming salamat po at magandang araw.
Petition for the Conferment of Degrees by J. Daniel M. Salonga, Doctor of Dental Medicine.
To the Centro Escolar University Board of Directors, President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina, members of the Administrative Council, Honorable Commencement Speaker, Dr. Eva Maria Cuchonco de la Paz, Dean of the School of Dentistry, Dr. Pearly Pilim, faculty members and staff, distinguished guests, proud parents, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day. To begin with, I would like to share one of the timeliest Bible verses that sums up our student journey of so many uncertainties in life. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." Last June of the year 2021, our hopes to finish our degrees were enkindled, vanishing into thin air our irritation and uncertainties of whether we would graduate this year or never at all, when we were informed that the face-to-face limited classes for the CEU School of Dentistry was granted by the Commission on Higher Education despite the raging pandemic. A year of patiently waiting and bravely enduring the lockdown, as well as fighting within ourselves the mental battles just to get through the daily angst, has finally paid off. Today, we are called graduates. Endlessly spending our time trying to figure out what words would most fit and accurately describe our predicament was not whimsical. It was real. In fact, this graduation rite is the most unorthodox in the history of any graduating Escolarian dentist. All of us were hoping and aspiring to walk down the aisle of the historic Manila Hotel, wearing our purple graduation togas with the proudest smiles on our faces. But right now, we find ourselves still edgy, joining these commencement exercises from the comforts of our homes. Nearing the finish line of our program of studies, this global pandemic broke out and we were forced to postpone some events that would have capped our final year in the university. Our unfinished academic requirements had to be taken online, such as the written revalida, the clinical proficiency examination, clinical graduation, annual Sampaguita interlude, etc. Even this online pre-recorded graduation itself is one transition we have to embrace. It seemed not fair for all of us to experience this. The delay, the extension, the limited face-to-face classes bore the marks of sacrifice, patience, and resolve to complete the journey. What was deemed a misfortune has turned into an opportunity for us to grow and remain grounded and humble in whatever achievement we have earned this day, setting aside the trappings of celebrating the entire event with family and friends, or even the emotional moments of saying goodbye to one another. But now, those treasured would-be scenarios seemed necessary no more. What is important is today. This is a testimony of what we have accomplished so far. Reaching the finish line makes remembering the good times the sweetest. Our journey began the first time we entered the pink facade of CEU on June 9, 2014. The same path we have been walking on for the last 7 years lead us to this very date, September 25, 2021. This happens to be the day where the same road we have been traveling on splits into 214 extraordinary roads. Despite the coronavirus pandemic, the seemingly countless patient demands, obstacles, changes, and constraints, we were able to hurdle all of these because we decided to persevere and be resilient to face each day with one mighty courage, living out our true purpose. True enough, if there is no pressure, there won't be any diamonds. We are diamonds. What we have accomplished as individuals and as a class throughout the years is unbelievably remarkable. Reaching the crossroad, now we realize that whichever path we take is just a matter of choice, as we are fully equipped and prepared for what awaits us. The future is shaped by our own hands, and victory is within our reach as long as we carry with us our university maxim of science and virtue. Fellow graduates, let us be persons of hope. There will be dark days as we progress, but throughout those times, let us seek light from our loved ones and maintain our faith. Allow God to take over the burden. Remember, we will gain learnings from every vicissitude of life. Indeed, this is God's perfect time. On behalf of the graduating class of 2020 from the School of Dentistry, it is with great privilege and honor to respectfully request our University President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina, to confer upon us our respective titles and degrees. Congratulations, Padayon CEU School of Dentistry, Class of 2020.
Conferment of degrees by the University President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina.
In accordance with the laws of the Republic of the Philippines and the regulations of the Commission on Higher Education, and by virtue of the authority vested upon me by the University Board of Directors, I, as President of the Centro Escolar University, hereby confer upon each one of you your respective degrees and titles and all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. Tassels? Left. Congratulations.
Presentation of graduates. The graduates will be presented by the Dean of the School of Dentistry, Dr. Pearly P. Lim. The names will be read by Dr. Mary Ayudine M. Lacanienta, Assistant Dean, and Dr. Jim L. Fernandez, Assistant to the Dean.
Madam President, it is my honor to present the graduates from the School of Dentistry.
Candidates for graduation as of second semester, school year 2019-2020 for the degree of Doctor of Dental Medicine. Janine V. Aban. Angelica Therese A. Abante. Hazeline Joyet Abordo. Ali Ahmad Saderad. Ahmed I. Ahmed. Frances Archel D. Alba. Patricia Ann M. Alcedo. Janela Reni D. Alfaro. Dina M. Al-Shumali. Dana Terry B. Angeles. Rupert T. Arsinas. Karen E. Armonia. Prima Nathalie Joy S. Asuncion. Troyce Stephanie B. Balisi. Kyle Patrick C. Banaban. Jordan Eldrick M. Banyares. Irvin Dave M. Bankairen. Christine D.C. Batumbakal. Cristel M. Bailen.
Maria Camille J. Benitez.
Patrick Vergel L. Bonifacio. Alex H. Bordeos. Rosita Ann A. Brual. Jernine G. Benaventura. Danica J. Calomadre. Sean Lanren A. Carandang, Nicole Lynn R. Caringal, Christian Mike V. Castillo, Janina Faye Lizette D. Kawaling, Maria Altes A. Sebanico, Rika May G. Chan, Jenny Leia A. Chavez, Sheena Angela B. Clarin, Aya Frances E. Cruz, Richen B. Custorio, Hailey Alison G. David, Moisel Angeli M. Delara, Shana Ashley S. Del Fiero, Chloe Joanne C. De la Cruz, Jasmine and Alicia B. De la Cruz, Jose Reuben V. De la Cruz, Robefeo L. De la Cruz, Rogie R. De la Cruz, Ryan A. De la Cruz,
Charlene O. Dinamarca,
Abigail Ann I. Diestro, Samantha E. Diomampo, Claire Maris B. Diosaban, Jo Marie B. Domingo, Du Ying, Aliza Leon R. Esteban, Mia Elaine R. Faraon, Maria Danica M. Ferrer, Edangeline C. Fetalino, Pamela Monique R. Francisco, Joshua Dominic E. Gabriel, Jeremiah Marie O. Gahoy, Reginald R. Gallardo, Francesca V. Garcia, Franz Nicole F. Geronimo, Mary Jan Denise D. Go, Franzel Luis M. Godalie, Ellen Jasmine M. Gonzalez, Stefano L. Gonzalez, Ira P. Gozun, Hans Christian L. Gilas, Mona Shari B. Gumban, Sara May M. Hernandez, Kirk Jebo Loren D. Herradura, Luigi Miguel C. Herrera, Neslin P. Icaro, Zerlene Amor R. Hoson, Melanie Faye M. Lambarte, Rigo Rafael T. Latoreno, Simon Zachary S. Lee, Therese Joy F. Licayo, Yang Lin, Chris Matthew I. Lopez, Rachel Vera S. Lopez, Paul Joris P. Lorenzo, Zarina Imiel P. Lucena, Daisy G. Macalia, and Margaret M. Magallanes, Elizabeth N. Magtoto, Phoebe Pearl A. Mahadas, Rismon Donald P. Malana.
John B. Manalang. Selina Lorraine L. Manangu. Katrina May M. Mangiat. Adriel C. Manuel. Christian Aaron O. Manuel. Jason A. Manuel. Mateo Daniel D. Marciano. Majesty A. Marcos. Maria Kisses Joy A. Mata. Kim Reniel C. Mateo. Julius Philip P. Mendoza. Mark Gabriel V. Merluza. Angel Kim C. Messina. Nicole Ann Klein B. Montealegre. Kathleen S. Nadella. Patricia May V. Negranza. Aliona C. Nieva. Jamila Heidi C. Nola. Maria Arlie Micaela D. Obal. Tracy Jel R. Oberio. Cheryl Ann Rose M. Octava.
Kevin Lay S. Ortiz.
Ria Janela V. Ortiz. Maria Elaine S. Pangan. Monica Cleo C. Panganiban. Bianca Marie C. Pangilinan. Nikki Ann F. Parr. Daryl J. Paras. Kathleen May P. Perez. Errol E. Pineda, Marian Joyce C. Ponce de Leon, Karil Joyce V. Portugues, Ethela Karil G. Presto, Jobel L. Primero, Sabrina Janelle S. Punzalan, Daniel Luis Puspos,
Magna cum laude.
Princess A. Quebral, Julian J. Rancapero, Rasen Kelly V. Redil, Liz Andre P. Rengel, Selina Jane D. Reyes, Shaina Joy D. Reyes, Stephanie Pearl D. Reyes, Christine F. Rivera, Ana Liana T. Rosaura, Zara May C. Rojas, Maria Victoria B. Sagud, Romison J. C. Salamat, Maria Mercedes U. Salas, Brittany S. Salazar, Kimberly Ann R. Salenga, J. Daniel M. Salonga, Chris D. Meriel E. Saluken, Christine Jane M. Santos, Jean Rolin D. Santos, Jeramil S. Santos,
Cristel Ann S. Sarmiento,
Kenneth Y. C. Christine Andrea A. Segaya, Patricia Priscilla Snyder. Ryzen I. Suarez. Chantel Alain C. Sisho. JV T. Tabilo. Ira Fatima T. Taliorin. Michael Edwin B. Tamayo. Sarah Jane P. Tating. Mikaela M. Teopaco. Beneden Angeli M. Timbang. Patricia T. Tomenis. Danica G. Toralba. Hannah Grace M. Tunkia. Daniel A. Umali. Marinela Beatriz V. Umali. Jaza Benice N. Umila. Justin Durin F. Valencia. Lexi O. Valencia. Zarina S. Vasquez. Lorechi Vea G. Velasco. Princess Jewel D. Vergara. Judian D. Villafuerte. Crizan D. Villanueva. Marilyn M. Villaruel. Maria Cristina Noel L. Villoria. Stephanie M. Virtusio. Dwayne Jemar F. Vivid. Hannah Micaela B. Humang.
Presentation of awards. Special awards. The recipients of the award will be presented by the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa R. Perez.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the recipients of special awards.
Recipient of Special Award, Daniel Luis E. Puspos, the CEU Alumni Foundation Incorporated Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Performance. Leadership Awards. The recipients of the award will be presented by the Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Carlito B. Olaer.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the recipients of awards for leadership in co-curricular and extracurricular activities.
Christmon Donnell T. Malana, Bronze Medalist. Maria Althez A. Sebanico, Silver Medalist. Charlene O. Dinamarca, Silver Medalist. Kathleen May P. Perez, Silver Medalist. Hannah Grace M. Tungia, Silver Medalist. Maria Camille J. Benitez, Gold Medalist. Franz Nicole F. Geronimo, Gold Medalist. Therese Joy F. Licayo, Gold Medalist. Daniel Luis E. Puspos, Gold Medalist. J. Daniel M. Salonga, Gold Medalist. Christine Andrea A. Segaya, Gold Medalist. Graduates with Honors. The graduates with honors will be presented by the Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Teresa R. Perez.
Madam President, I have the honor to present the graduates with honors.
Daniel Luis E. Puspos, Doctor of Dental Medicine, magna cum laude. Address of Thanks by Daniel Luis E. Puspos, Doctor of Dental Medicine, magna cum laude.
Good day to all of you. Before anything else, on behalf of the graduating class of 2020, let me thank everyone who had made our stay at Centro Escolar University a life-changing academic journey. To the University President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina, the Board of Directors, and the members of the Administrative Council, for all the tough calls and decisions you had to make for the good of all the stakeholders of the university, we thank you. To our distinguished commencement speaker, Dr. Eva Maria Putyongco de la Paz, thank you for sharing your valuable wisdom that would help us navigate the complexities of our lives. To the Dean of the School of Dentistry, Dr. Pearly P. Lim, thank you for constantly giving us the needed motivation and for always reminding us that there's a world of opportunities out there. To the faculty and staff who were with us along the way, guiding our every step and building relationships that would extend beyond the walls of our school, our endless gratitude. Your dedication to help us become better versions of ourselves is incomparable. To my fellow graduates and friends, this day is ours to reminisce. The years of tightly holding our hands together as we walk through the uncertainties of what's ahead. Words of thanks are not enough to express our gratitude for winning our own battle, as this commencement exercise marks our triumph. But always remember that the battle is only half won. Hence, no matter what circumstances come our way, we continue fighting, and we shall overcome the odds, because in all those years in CEU, we have built a fortress that will remain standing and defy the ravages of time. To our parents and loved ones, this event is profoundly dedicated to you. You have showered us with unconditional love and support. Your sacrifices to give us this wonderful experience will never be taken for granted. You have taught us the basics of life. Live well and live to the fullest. To my mommy Lola, and to everyone we've lost along the way, they must be watching us right now with so much pride and joy. This one is for them too. Indeed, remembering is sweet and magical. The first time we went to see you, there were lots of new faces. Different in many ways, but bounded by the very question that brought us together. Why dentistry? We all had different answers, but one thing was undeniable. We all answered the question with fear inside us. The uncertainty then of taking the course that would decide, well, mostly, the direction of our lives was palpable. Nevertheless, we decided to choose bravery and went on with our college life. There was even a bit of a delay, but we persevered. And like seeds, we might have been dropped into dirt or rocky soil and covered in darkness, but we chose to sprout into the light, reaching out for the sun. We tried to be the good seeds, and so we heard the declaration that we have successfully complied with all the requirements to receive our degrees and diplomas. We followed the marching order. Tassel, left. Isn't that beautiful and cathartic? Life will always test us, but let us never give up. This graduation should serve as a reminder that difficult times are temporary. If we continue to strive, work hard, work together and persevere, eventually we will be able to see the fruits of our labor. Believing in ourselves and counting on the people around us will allow us to overcome all these challenges with grace. It is up to us to bring what we have learned and put it to good use for our people. And as we step out of this university, carrying with us the maxim of science and virtue, may each one of us be a testament of optimism, dedication, and decency. Let's keep making everyone proud, as we have shown since the start. Let it be a reminder, though, that it is not just our achievements we are celebrating on this day, but more so, the collaborative effort we had as a university. Let us all give each other a pat on our backs because we all did a very good job. A huge congratulations to all of us. May we prosper in the blessings of our Almighty God. Thank you very much.
Pledge of Loyalty to the Alma Mater by Christine Andrea A. Segaya, Doctor of Dental Medicine, Gold Medalist for Leadership in Co-Curricular and Extracurricular Activities.
Pledge of Loyalty. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. We, graduates of the Centro Escolar University, solemnly promise before God to be loyal to our alma mater in all our words, thoughts, and deeds. We shall always bear in mind that nothing that we do should ever cast unfavorable reflection on the good name of this institution. We further promise that in our public and private lives, we shall observe the highest standards of morality and decency so that our conduct, besides being a credit to our beloved Centro Escolar University, will give honor and glory to our beloved country. So help me God.
Acceptance of the Pledge of Loyalty by the University President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Maria Cristina D. Padolina.
Dear graduates, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the Administrative Council, the University Council, the Council of Deans, the faculty and alumni of Centro Escolar University, I accept your pledge of loyalty to the Centro Escolar University, now your alma mater. With your parents, relatives, and friends as witnesses, I bind you to your promise that you will endeavor to be a credit to Centro Escolar University in your private and professional lives. I charge you to use your education to participate actively in the pursuit of national goals for progress and prosperity, to contribute to the eradication of ignorance and poverty, and the mitigation of crime and immorality in our country and the world. I admonish you as you strive to find your respective places in society to always give prominence to the philosophy of Centro Escolar University, Ciencia y Virtud. In the immediate and distant future, do find time to return to your alma mater to renew fraternal ties. The blessings of God be yours to enjoy and to share. Congratulations once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Centro Escolar University Hymn.
Mabuhay ka, mahal naming pamantasan, mapuri sa dakilang Centro Escolar. Ika'y dambana ng pag-ibig sa bayan, at agham na sa riyang matagumpay. Kapag ang diwa ng iyong mga himig, umagona sa puso't bibig, sabay-sabay na ipasisigawan, mabuhay ka, dakilang Centro Escolar. Mabuhay ka, mahal naming pamantasan, papuri sa dakilang Centro Escolar. Ika'y dambana ng pag-ibig sa bayan, at agham na sa riyang matagumpay. Centro Escolar, Centro Escolar.
We might not be walking across that stage with the cameras flashing. They've been waiting on our day. It's been a journey, hasn't it? I wouldn't trade a moment. No, I wouldn't change a moment. I'm who I am because of you. Whether we've known each other our whole life or just a year or two, just a year or two. And I'm grateful for the times we'll never forget, so we can be in this moment, right here in this moment. I'm grateful for our new beginnings, right here in this moment.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away.